where it's a bit rainy, although not raining here in Boston. We'll get started in a few moments. Some people are still joining. And today, because of the low pressure system in this area, where most of the students are tuning in, we're going to do some back bending, and some of the skills are repeated from an earlier class. It's good to have some repetition in your practice, of course, because you can then fine-tune some of the actions that you may have missed the first time around. So the primary props we'll need, other than something to sit on, if you have them, are, as usual, a beach towel or some big towel, wishful thinking about a beach, and a strap that closes. So I've got this car strap with a convenient toggle, quick release. Yoga straps are good. Some of them are not long enough. You might also construct a strap just simply using a couple of dress shirts. Probably don't need them anymore since you're not going into the office. A bathrobe, a jump rope, something that allows you to, just to give you the preview of coming attractions, to encircle the area of the mid-back, right under the armpits, as if you've just come out of the shower and you're scrubbing at the base of the shoulder blades. So it's a little hula hoop, pretty big. You can enclose a couple more bodies in it. How do you know if it's the right size? Well, it's nice to have the adjustability, but we're going to be doing things like putting our feet in the strap to experience the connection of the legs and the mid-back. Should prepare us well for some mild back bending in the class. You can check out that. Just as we're also going to be doing some things where we come around the outsides of the strap and up through the center, and then take our thumbs under, and so now you have the strap like so, in the crease between the thumbs, and then we stick them up, we lift. And so you can experiment a little bit getting your strap right if you have it, and there's a little bit of technical know-how here. And this is going to lift the mid-back up. Okay? So you're just coming in where I'm describing the strap we'll use. Now, if you don't have a closable strap, never fear. All is not lost. You could have just an open strap or jump rope or towel that comes behind your back. Again, like you're just come out of the shower, scrubbing, and you've got the strap or the towel in the, it's called the tiger mouth of the hand, between the thumb and the index finger, and then it's be more of an Iyengar permutation. So I still get a little bit of the sensation of lift. And when you lift up here, the strap could come up and capture the shoulder blades a little higher. Okay. In terms of the leg extension, you'll just have to go for arms to leg, right? And push and pull as we do quite often. So that's the plan, and let's come to seated and get started. Again, in my classes, you can and should modify to your liking that suits your body. And so I'm sitting on a nice sofa cushion, but something that's at least hard enough that you can locate your sitting bones. So just going from left to right, feeling the left and right sides of the body. And in meditation on Sundays, we do this body awareness how much tension you're holding and strength you're holding on one side versus the other. And yesterday, if you tuned in, I was making political jokes about which way you lean might be an indicator of your political views. If you're new, the jokes really don't get any better, but bear with them. Soon they'll have you thinking about the bad jokes versus the bad joke we're in. So let's go back and forth and then feel the front of the sit bones as well and the back of the sit bones. So in the way, this is a simple unwinding of the spine, flexion and extension. And if you're waking up early, which some of you are, you have to enter or re-enter your body with some amount of calmness and respect, instead of throwing it into yoga postures and hoping for the best. Then how about just, side bending, curling the sides, and use your hand to lean over, and testing out that flexing ability of the spine. It's really simple stuff. And of course, those that are cursed with flexibility are already way over saying, where's the beef? But be careful, overly flexible people, that you don't go beyond the limits of your joints. And then how about a twist? We go simply over to the left and don't wrestle the body. The other day we were twisting just using our natural core ability to twist, to move the rib cage like a turret. For some reason I was thinking of my old grade school book report on the Monitor and the Merrimack. And the Monitor was an ironclad ship that had this turret. So the rib cage and the chest are turreting in a twist, and the hips are staying level. Okay, so a couple movements in twist. And of course, if you were a Kundalini devotee, you would be moving quite rapidly, shaking the genie in the bottle. But let's settle in. Now, having moved the spine in its directions of travel, and then concentrate as you close the eyes on breathing up and down the spine. And I've been using this image of a giant straw, the top of which is the nose, and the bottom of the straw is actually the base of the spine. So as you inhale, feel the air come in, touch the nostrils actually, create a little sensation. Feel the back of the throat, opening like a parachute. Feel the lungs, and let the breath descend down into your belly. And then just for kicks, take the hands to the belly and feel it fill up as you inhale. And feel it release as you exhale. And let's do this a few times. Imagining that we can create almost a well of energy in the belly and then disperse almost like a pump. The same energy or waste product of the body, the mind, emotions out of the body. And the next time you exhale, open your mouth and create a little sound. You can hold the breath at the top now a few times and let that sound out. Again. One more. Capture all the tension, stress, and then release. Just bow forward or lean forward a little bit. And then let's come up and find our back body using our straps. So if you came in a little late, we're lassoing the body up. And you have a strap about 4 feet. In diameter that you loop over your mid-back, under your armpits. And if you don't have one, you can just use a towel around your back and hold the ends. And as you go down, make sure that you go safely. You can hold the knee and take a peek first. If you weren't here for this technology, now I'm going to put one foot up in the strap and adjust the strap to my liking. So this is a very passive, or should be a pretty passive stretch of the hamstring. You can bend the knee and then straighten it a few times. And I have the strap around the ball mound. So I can push on the gas pedal, or I can push the heel to the sky. You can even play with pointing the toes and then pulling them back. But I want to keep or have enough pressure along the back. Those of you that just have a towel or a strap and don't have a closable strap, your practice will be, as we've done many times, and I'll show you, to have the towel in your arms like this, reaching up, pointing, flexing. That's fine. And just toning a little more dynamically the hamstring. So check it out in terms of your flexibility. You can tighten, you can loosen. The arms are out to the side, and then we're going to move the leg over to the outside. So I've got right leg moving to the right. Go only halfway to the floor and feel that the midsection of the body is still an anchor. So around the base of the shoulder blades is getting a little rotation, but you're not flopping over. Come back to center with the leg go the opposite direction. And now begin to play organically, or if you find a little fertile tight spot, and then breathe into it. So if you're new to my classes, we do some structural work, but we also move through the postures and use them as a means to an end. And really, not to belittle the body, which is considered sacred, but in a practical level, we're just shaking out the rug, shaking out the carpet. So now, can you bring that, if it's your right leg, bring it to the top or left, and can you put both feet in the strap? You can bend your knees like you're in Utkatasana, bring the feet and the knees together. Isn't that fun? And if you've only got the towel, of course, you've got it over the feet, the knees are bent, and the arms could reach back along the floor, opening the palms to the sky, and then on exhale, turning the palms toward one another. Feel the shoulder blades flatten. Feel the core tone. So here's our chair pose for lazy yogis. Okay, so let's try the other side. We're going to slip the other foot out. For me, it's the right leg going long. I could have the knee bent. Arms or goalpost are out. And then I just experience this sling And again, if you don't have a full strap around your base of your shoulder blades, you've got a towel up in your leg, and you can point and flex into that area of the ball mound. So you get a little calf stretch, you get a little interior tibialis stretch through the shin bone, and just warming up the legs with the benefit of an anchored back body. Okay, so now let's just travel over to the outside, wherever it is. It's my left leg going left, and you can feel the barrel rim of the mid-back remaining full, remaining planted. When I did this morning, I had a nice chiropractic adjustment as I went from left to right, switching now left leg over to right. We're not going all the way to the floor, not only because you don't want to show off, but because it's not of any merit to what we're doing, which is to keep some structural piece or foundation as the appendages, in this case the legs, move and windshield wiper and start to move in a subtle way this part of the body. Now can we put both feet in? Again, if you had a towel, you're just bending your knees and holding the towel with the arms extended up. And you can kick the legs to straight and inhale, pull on the strap ends as you bend the knees, and then just pogo stick. I don't know if you ever had a pogo stick as a child, but if you didn't, now you can re-experience or experience for the first time the joys of pogoing both feet together and seeing, does one leg want to push more than the other? For me, it's always the right leg because that's the side that's dominant. So then some of you can have the legs straighten the arms and goalposts and feel the quads engage, feel the inner thighs roll together, or you're just holding the strap. Can we bend the knees a little bit and let the feet float away like we're water skiing, same sensation. Again, reach back to the floor with your arms, palms to the sky. Inhale, fill the chest. Exhale, wrap the upper arm bones so the palms face one another. Chair pose. Now lessen your pressure into the strap as if we're gonna take it out, take the feet out of it, and so you would need some core energy. And take the hands behind the head, inhale, exhale, just glide the head up, and then inhale back, rolling into the back of the occiput as if you're looking behind you. Exhale, curl. So this is optional. You can do it with straight legs, but we're engaging the core from the top of the abdominals. We'll get another chance soon. And then we'll bend the knees again. And this is where we're going to do the tricky move that I demonstrated earlier. We're going to transfer the strap from the feet to the hands. So if you simply have a towel, it's going to be easy enough. You've got to roll over, put it under your back, and then hold it. The towel ends up to the sky. Show that in a second. Those that have the strap loop, you're going to circle around the outside of the strap ends, come up through the middle, and then capture the strap by bending your knees between your thumb and index finger, put the legs down. So now I'm pushing up to the sky, and I should still have pressure on the back. As I go back to the floor, inhale, the strap now repositions a little bit higher toward the armpits. And exhale, I push the strap toward the sky. So if you're working without an enclosed loop, what you would look like as you, other people who are set up can do that. Reach back and push up. But people that have a towel or just a long rope, you would have the towel around the mid-back, and you'd be reaching up like so. Still going around the outside, capturing with the thumb. And then you go back and forth. So let the chest rise with the reach back of the arms. Let the low back flatten and look toward your strap as you exhale. A couple more times. And then can we take the arms back to the floor and rest them there if that's not too uncomfortable? And straighten the legs forward along the ground, toning them, hugging them together as we had when they were captured in the strap moments ago. So can you remember the sensation of the leg tone? The arms are extended and have enough width to your strap that you can pull gently the armpit ribs higher. Inhale. Exhale, pull the right knee toward you, bent. And do that little lift of the strap toward the ceiling. Okay? And then let's just switch. Inhale, reach back, and exhale, draw the left knee like you're going to tap it with the strap. And you know the rest. Let's just go for a little walk and make sure that there's no great tension in the throat or the neck. Take your mind again to the belly. So you inhale, move your mind down to your belly, and exhale. Remember the well. We were squeezing the well water that we collect in the belly out. So as the knee comes in, boom, we squeeze and engage the base of the spine. So you could do these when you get bored today, toning your core. But for now, let's see if those that want to add a piece can lift the head and maybe straighten the leg and start to mat Pilates. Those with neck problems are going to take and slide the strap under your head. And you can capture the occiput, get a little traction by lifting, floating the head off the ground an inch. Inhale, then exhale. You have support for your head as the knee comes in and you lift. But don't lose the tone of the deep core muscles. Okay, so you have the strap behind your head, slip it off. And let's just lay the arms down on goalposts with the strap loose and ski the knees over to the right, keeping the feet widely spaced and planted on the ground. And then inhale to center and ski the knees over to the left, maybe looking casually in the other direction. Just go back and forth in this very mild spiral pattern. And those that have been coming to class know that you can also juice the psoas a little, lengthen it by pressing the foot that's more to the midline, the upper knee, across on the diagonal. For example, I'm going to the right of the knees, the left knee is now pushing away from me. My left hip is rolling off the ground as I push the knee on the diagonal. And then I go to the left, and the right knee is pushing, the inner leg's pushing, the psoas is stretching, and the right hip comes off the ground. So we warm up and tone the psoas, which is going to become important in back bending. Can we do a little more core before we leave this and just reach up to the sky? You may have no props whatsoever at this point, but I have this strap, it's nice. And we pull the knees halfway toward the body so their upper leg bones are now 90 degrees to the ground. Shin bones are floating. And then inhale, I move the knees away from me, the arms overhead just a little bit. And exhale, I close the gap. Inhale and exhale. So you can go as far as you want with this in terms of extending the legs forward and the arms back. So I could be a super Pilates person. If you fully extend the legs, keep the tone in the deep core. It's still early. You don't want to wreak havoc by showing off. Okay? So now, can you take the strap or your hands around the fronts of the knees and just rock and roll back and forth? Come up to Navasana. And those that just have a towel, loop it over your feet with your hands. Those that still have the strap, get it situated in your armpit ribs, and up you go. You've got a Navasana, which is the envy of all. So maybe your Navasana is here. And you can play with bent knees. But we're using the legs to propel or feel this opening of the mid-back. Truth be told, the mid-back is not a great back bending piece of the picture, but it gets rather gummy. Okay, so let's bend the knees and take the strap overhead like so, and cross your ankles. Place the hands down and come to hands and knees. Now, again, if you have no props, it's okay. It's just, this is an interesting experience for people that have the strap loop. You can see I've still got it in my thumbs are hooked under and palms here. So now as I move in cat and cow, I can experience this mid-back, which for a lot of people becomes gummy. And yesterday we worked on strength in the upper arm bones. So we can glide one leg back on inhale and then put the knee down. Same thing. Sliding one leg back, looking forward, and exhale. You want to add a little lift of the leg, inhale, and knee to nose. That would be a little more dramatic. With the foot down on the ground, it also can work quite well. So go for a little walk here. Trying not to create too much asymmetry in the hips by lifting out of the symmetry of the hip axils. Okay? And then we could, if you're still having fun, take a downward dog with this, bending your knees and feeling as the strap slides up the shoulder blades a little. How it creates some intelligence in the spine. And plank pose, same thing. If I press into this entire dynamic circle, I have strength in the shoulders. Let's come down, and as much fun as props are, they become tedious and crutches after a while. So doing the same actions without the prop, inhale, cat and cow. And see if you can feel, those of you who had the strap, as you come to downward dog, curling the toes under, the same, if you press your palms forward, the same billowing out of the mid-back, the shoulder blades, as the head drops. And then bend your knees and lift your hips higher. Inhale, and then try to get the heels down. Inhale, bend the knees, high heel down dog. Lengthening forward as if you still have that extending strap. Exhale, heels drop. One more, inhale, bend. See if you're going to put your knees down to the ground. And then extend. Come forward to plank pose, and then drop the knees, and then come down onto your forearms by walking your knees back and sliding your elbows under your shoulders. So spin the palms to the sky like you're holding a platter.
Drop your head for a moment. And now we can replicate, even if you didn't have the strap, same action of pushing upper arm bones apart. And with your eyes closed, feel the rounding of the shoulder blades, almost the reverse of what we want in a cobra pose. And then lift the head, keeping the shoulder blades moving apart. Now I can fly back to Shalabhasana. So we've engaged the posterior serratus and tone the feet into the ground, push down, almost lifting the kneecaps off the ground. And then fly back, dropping the head again, and feel the shoulder blades broaden as your palms go back. And then fly the arms toward the goalpost, lay the head down, and just roll from side to side. I'm going to roll toward you so that you can see a little better the next move. So now we're going to come up and do some cobra push-ups, just to prep the upper body a little more actively. So you can come up on your forearms and watch. What I'm going to do is place the head down, slide the fingers out on fingertips off the mat. And once again, I'm going to roll the shoulders forward to tone the backs of the legs. Inhale, the shoulders come up and start to lift, and the head. And then I go down. You don't have to come up as far as I do. You're barely using the arms, so some of you can only come up a few inches. You want to watch the pinching in the low back and make sure it's not extreme. And let's do about 10 of these. Having given you the front view, I'm going to go back to my post in the side view. So these are essential everyday conditionings of the spinal and the back extensors. But now we'll come down and place the palms together and then place our head down on the palm structure and tone the backs of the legs. So you could just bend one knee and put it down, and then pull the other foot up, bending the knee and put it down. But those that can, now keep the leg straight and lift each leg individually, just a few inches like you're doing a flutter kick. Fully engage the hamstring, the glute, being mindful of the low back. Okay, and then let's roll onto the right side, extending the right arm, and stack the body, stack the feet, and find your balance. If you need a towel under your head, between your head and your right arm, you can use it. And push the outer bank of the right leg into the ground, lift the left leg up, inhale, and exhale, scissor the feet back together. Inhale, lift, and close. Inhale, lift, and close. So now you're engaging that outer bank left leg. Lift, and then pull the knee toward your face on the side plane. Kick out, and then pull in. So I'm using my left hand, fingertips, as a kickstand to try and almost tap the left elbow with the left leg rather. So you can do this till the cows come home or come into a tree pose formation on your side body. Those that can't manage to take the left foot high on the inseam of the right leg can simply put the right foot down in front of the leg and then reach up to the sky with the left arm. Those who have balance can take the back of the left hand inside the left knee and push into it. But mainly we're trying to lengthen along the ground. And some can lift the left foot off the ground, fish around for your strap, take around the foot, or grab the big toe and extend up. We've already worked the back of the leg, but this is a slightly different permutation. And then everybody take the left foot down to the floor in front of that right leg and just watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll out the right side of the body like I'm on a tippy ship. And I can use my kickstand of my planted left foot to push and pull, and I just roll out the fascia on the lateral body. Should feel good. And then let's switch sides, rolling onto our bellies and lengthening with the left arm. And laying the body on the left side, I'm just going to switch so that those that need a visual. So I stretch out long and lay my head on my left bicep, or use a little cushion for the head. So it's a neutral position. I tone the legs. And I'm using my right hand for balance as I lift and open the scissors of the legs. The right leg, about a foot, and then close. And this will help you from hip to spare. Now let's try to take the knee to the nose on the side plane. And then we can come into that tree position, right foot high and inseam the left leg, and really push and extend through the lower part of the body. The whole left side is trying to luxuriate along the floor. That's the primary piece of this. But if you can find balance, again, you can take the right foot down to the floor in front of you, or take this further and do the full pose. But don't lose your anchor to the ground. And then come down, roll onto your belly again. You have a towel, take it away. Set your forehead down. Take your arms broadly out for cobra. And upper leg bones move apart as the chest comes up. Press back to the child's pose. And let the low back stretch. Come up to hands and knees. And then one cat and cow. And downward dog. And your knees again. Lengthen from the mid-back forward to the palms, right through to the fingers, and then straighten your legs to your degree. Let's bring the feet together and lift the right leg high, three-legged dog. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Now you could be, this is too difficult for you, you could be working this with the left knee on the ground on hands and knees, just doing this. And then we're going to come forward and hover and set the right shin down. Now, if Doreen is here, you can go into half pigeon, but the rest of us are going to go into what's called Ardha Vajrasana. So we have the shin bone, the right shin bone directly under the knee. And then can you crawl down to your forearms and hang out in easy cobra? But if it's possible, I'm going to lift that left knee off the ground, stretch that hip flexor a little more. Prepare for back bending, set it down. And those that can find your Uddiyana Bandha in this right hip that I'm pulling, can take the right hand back like a kickstand and reach forward with the left arm and tuck the right belly in to sandwich and hold this pose as I spiral my gaze a little bit to the right. It's a little more advanced, but usually accessible for most people. Now let's try the other side, curling the back toes under, lift up, three-legged dog, and bring the feet together. And you could be doing this on your hands and knees as the left leg goes back, knee to nose. But remembering the work yesterday with the upper arm bones and the shoulder blades, keeping strong and hearted. As you hover, set the shin down, take the right toes out, and check it out. Some of you might be working on a chair with your hands. Otherwise, with the shin bone tucked under, extend the right arm forward, left hand back, and then sandwich into that left belly. Come back, curl right toes under, three-legged dog, and then regular downward dog. I'm going to step the feet to the hands, come to a flat back, hands on shins. Knees could be bent, belly drawn in, as if you're going to lay your belly across the fence railing, and then spill the upper body forward. Then the knees come up to chair pose, and then stand. So you might ask, why have we done all this forward bending when we're supposed to be doing back bending? Because we need to keep the essence of the back bend in, or the forward bend in the back bend. So we've been playing, if you've been coming, with this oscillating between the two. So now standing, and if you can glide the right toes back and open our goalpost arms, this is the prana pattern. So we had the strap hoisting up the armpit ribs. But now I want you to just see if you can glide the hands up and down and feel the lift of the shoulder blades and then the retraction. So if I had a lat pull machine and I made fists and pull the lat pull, can you feel your lat muscles engage? Okay, so why are we doing weightlifting with yoga? Because these muscular actions now, as we lat pull, we can pull the right knee up, ha. And you know the other action that we did yesterday is to wrap the package in. Let's try that. Reach, open, just barely putting weight in the right toes. Pull the lat pull machine and then wrap it in. Lats, pull, anterior serratus wraps, knee comes up. And we do the other side. So you don't need to go to the gym. So let's glide the left toes back. It's too hard to do an asymmetrical, just put the feet together. But most of the weight we're prepping for one-legged standing is on the front foot. Reach up, inhale, and then collect the lats, pull the knee in, and seal the deal. Inhale, float out, open, and then pull like you're pulling your front of your shirt, tucking it in your pants. And so even if you can just do this, you're getting nice weightlifting action. So let's try to move with this a little. And the right toes go back, we reach open, if we had the strap. Exhale, pull the lats down, keep the chest a little buoyant, and then close the deal. Then step back to warrior one. Brush the knee, reach up, inhale. Exhale, pull the heavens down. Feel the back muscles, the lats. Wrap it, lean forward, step back to front foot. Brush the knees, Fill the sails, bring it home into the heart. Other side. Left toes glide back, open. Throat is relaxed, scalene muscles. Relax. Capture, Jalandhara Bandha, and pull the knee in. Lean forward, balance, step back. Brush front knee, pull and wrap. Step the feet together. Now just start to move in this pattern, trying it out on your own. Glide the foot back, pull, wrap, knee. Some of you can say, I'm going to balance in Dikasana for a little bit. And then I'm going to do dance weird things. oh, I could do that Dekasana or Warrior 3 using that grip wrap. Okay, so a couple more playful permutations. Reach, hold the lats, wrap the anterior serratus, knee comes up, hop. Then what are you going to do? Just step back and go anywhere. So different levels play to their liking. I'm showing the Warrior 3 with this technology. You should be getting warmer, as they say. But can we take a slight intermission and just reach and hold the right foot? If you need to be near a wall, you can be there, and we'll take the knees together and bring the tailbone down. So you can take your left hand to your hip as well. And shoehorn with your thumb, left thumb, your tailbone down. So even when we start to come into this back bend, reaching up with the left arm, keep your shirt tails, I mean this area here, a little bit tapped into the tailbone as you start to push foot into the hand. And create a nice arch through the entire back line. So it's not any one piece, and then come up, let's try the other side. Again, if you're working at a wall or hand on a chair, fine. Let's pull the left foot in, and then sweep the knees together to try and level off the pelvis. And the first part of this Ardha Bekasana is really a stretch of the quadricep. Gonna need to do a little more soon. But for now, let's take a shot at it and pull the shirt tails down, like I'm tucking my shirt in. And then pushing the foot away. Remember this, we did extending, but then the lat pull, right? Can we do it again? And those that are experienced can now use the lat pull technology to take this a little further. Or you can simply watch and say, huh. So most of these Natrajasanas, you see the ex-ballet dancers trying to be like, wow, I'm so extended, I'm going to go all the way to the ground. Oh, okay. But do we really need to do that? Well, let's see, if we come forward, but then we lat pull the left arm and pull it back. And some of you can capture both of the hands on the back foot. Isn't that fun? And then release. One more, and then we move on. Being careful if you have low back issues and extension. Just pull the foot in, hold it, reach up, push the foot. Maybe yours is working against the wall. As you extend, then retreat. Hold the lat, the right arm in. Wing out, capture the back foot, some of you. See how it goes. And then release. Let's move on. And we'll need a forward fold again to reset the low back from misery. So let's take a chair pose and then spill down into forward fold. Then let's take the toes out like a duck. Sit down to Malasana. Bring the palms together. So descending with the tailbone is very apparent here as the upper body tries to achieve more pranic value or
back bending extension. Those that need their Bakasana every morning can try drawing the belly in, using that structure of the shoulder blades, upper arm bones. That's great. Let's move on and do a few more warriors. Have your towel roll ready. Then we're going to bring it home. So at first, let's take the feet hip width. Take the hands to the hips and shoehorn the tailbone down. Goal pose now. And exhale, close. Goal pose, lats draw, close. Now watch, goal pose, lats draw, hands to the back of the head, lean it back, and let the tailbone gently bend toward the floor. Open the mouth like you're going to catch a raindrop, and then come up. Be a little careful here. You can do that again, or let's move on. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, pull, lat pull down, close, chair pose. Let's take the left foot back, brush the knee, inhale. And let's open to warrior two. Reverse your warrior and come into side angle. Now, the actions of the arm are the same as in Natrajasana. I can extend, 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 show off how deep I can go, or I can play with this lat pull concept of the left hand, pulling the upper arm bone back into the body. This gives me enormous strength to come up and take triangle pose to your degree. Remember, the bottom hand could be up on a chair, spread the feet apart, and then maybe float the upper hand up. Again, you reach up as if we're trapeze and pull on that trapeze. Pull yourself back up. Can we just switch to the other side because of time? And into warrior two. Reverse. And come into side angle. So once again, extension, eccentric contraction is lovely and it looks very balletic. So I come deeply into this pose. I'm ready for my photo op on Yoga Journal. They've never called, surprisingly, but I've gotten over it. Instead, I've learned that in extend, there's always a contraction. And this is good for strength. Reach and contract. And the contraction is what allows you to go more deeply and safely in the pose. Let's reach up, straighten the front leg, and then pour like a teapot. Toning the backs of the legs, even as the inner legs straighten. Make sure your head isn't dropped unless you have a neck issue, and I've shown you how to release the neck. But otherwise, you reach up, you grab a trapeze bar, pull, come back up. Good. Let's take the feet parallel, take a forward fold. Come up and hop the feet together. And then have a seat on your shins if you can, cross-legged if you can't. Now, can you have a chair behind you, those that need it? I've got two chairs, and I'm going to bring them into service. And I'm going to take the hands to the back of the chair. Now, those with knee problems, you can take your feet like this and just start to do some dips. And now we're also building strength. back bend. But if you can, take the shins down. And if you need to work with the hands on the chair, come down and start to lean forward, like you're bowing to your knees. Remember how we did those cobra push-ups from the shoulders tilted forward? Then you come up with the head last, shoulders roll back, tailbone goes down, and look up, and then you come down. So again, we use the flexion pattern, the forward fold, shoulders roll forward, hips drop. Then the hips come up. They express forward, upper leg goes apart, and all the way up the spine, boom, 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 boom. Up I come. Those that don't need the chair, of course, can play with the hands on the heels, bowing forward, maybe even tapping the ground. And then coming up first to the hips. Really good. And finally, let's take our closing back bends. So for you, that may mean, I'm down, I'm going to take a bridge. But here are some options now. One is the gentle. You have a couple of sofa cushions. You're creating a seesaw. So I've got the long one on the short one. And this is a nice one because it's pretty gentle. I sit on the edge of the seesaw. I take my hands back and I reach back and stretch the legs forward. That's it. Those that need their wheels can take the feet in, slide the hands back, come up to full wheel. So that's option A, you can go into it. Option B, I'll just show, and I showed it the other day. If you suffered under the, or I should say benefited, under the Iyengar system, I'm teasing, of course, but here's a nice one for advanced students who love the structure. I use my chairs, I'm near a wall. I'm just showing this for those that would like to try or know it. And then we'll close off. So if you've done your back bends, you've had enough. Then you're coming into Shavasana. So I'm about 4 feet from the wall. I slide my sitting bones to the front edges of these chairs. I hold the chair ends, and I glide the head back to support. I can let the arms lay out. I can straighten the legs. I can reach the arms through the chair and hold. I'd like you to keep your chin or your head in a nice position if you're doing this. And this is probably only for the folks that have done the setup, because I can't really teach you these elaborate setups in the context of Zoom. So wherever you are, you can stay for a few more breaths. Those coming out of the chair setup, really important you bend your knees and your head doesn't jerk up first. You push your elbows into the chair and your head comes up last. Taking your final inversions, if you take them, or laying down in Shavasana. Got about a minute, and then we'll close off class. As you come to inversions or Shavasana, see how the body feels from the mild back bending work. And the caveat of back bending is that it can fire the adrenals, as does coffee, and so you can feel caffeinated or a little energized. So you do back bends to taste. And now making your way to seated wherever you are, and we'll close. Take a moment to find your seat, close your eyes. And as I've been saying, the primary mantra during this time is stay in your body. Respect the sensations of your body, work with them, acknowledging stress and trying to breathe it out, dissolve as your palms collect at the heart. Namaste.